right, here we go. I'm MoedotJ, and we have a new TV series called P-Valley on Starz. I seen the first episode; it's pretty good. So we're gonna go over this recap with you, and you know how I do. I'm not gonna hold you up. Hey, shout out to the notification. And you know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. And you can also check out any of my other reaction videos. I have the playlist on there. But let's jump right into it. P Valley is a stripper TV series and it's pretty good. So we're gonna jump right into it. Let's go. The opening scene of this show is kind of weird. So there's no names or anything given out, but we see this young lady right here that's on the bus. She's standing by what looks like to be flooded. She finds a suitcase, she finds an ID, and within the ID it says the lady's name is Lakeisha Savage. Now I don't know if this is her or not, because it looks like she just found a random suitcase that was in the flood. She gets on this bus, she's riding the bus, and she's just thinking back about things. And the bus actually makes a stop. The bus driver tells everybody, hey, y'all got 15 minutes. And the bus is leaving. She gets off the bus. She smokes a cigarette. The bus driver comes over and asks her, like, hey, are you good? You know what I'm saying? We're about to leave. So instead of getting back on the bus, she takes her suitcase and she leaves. So me, I'm looking at it like this is gonna be our main character here. We don't know her backstory, and we don't even know if her real name is Lakeisha Savage. At this point, we just know she found an ID that says Lakeisha Savage, and she walked off into the woods. Didn't get back on the bus, so we're gonna see where this takes us. So we finally get to see the strip club. It's called Club Pink down in the P Valley. They say it's the best strip club that there is, right off of exit 29. So you know it's going down in here. Um, Everybody's here is packed. You know what I'm saying? This is where you want to be at in the city. You know what I'm saying? And after the lights go out, this is where you want to be because the lights come on. If you know what I mean. But we get to see two of the strippers. So the lady on the left is Miss Mississippi, and then the lady on the right is Mercedes. Mercedes is the top stripper at the strip club. Miss Mississippi just got off stage. Some guy put his drink on the stage. She came down and cracked her head. So it's Mississippi's turn to go back on stage, but she can't do it. She pretty much has a concussion. So she's asking Mercedes and everyone all the other women, hey, can someone go and do my dance for me, finish my dance? She like, I'll give you guys a blunt or whatever. Everybody's like, nah, I can't do it. Mercedes is like, all right, if I go out there and do it, I'm gonna need more than just a blunt. Pretty much Mercedes is saying, hey, I'm top dog here, you know what I'm saying? I run the strip club, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need more than some blunt, I'm gonna need some extra bread and everything. But Mercedes ends up going out there dancing for her. Now we get introduced into a lot of other characters. There's a security guard named Diamond, and then we got Big Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford runs the club. So Uncle Clifford is pretty much like Dollar Bill off of Players Club. But not Dollar Bill. Clifford, Uncle Clifford, you know, he dresses up as a woman, you know what I'm saying? He feels like he's a woman. So he runs a strip club and he makes sure that all his women is they good. Like no matter what happens, whatever anybody does, he makes sure his women is good. The cops pull up and tells him, hey, you know you can't be serving liquor in your strip club, or they can't be topless. And pretty much Uncle Clifford's like, yeah, we ain't doing none of that. But what Uncle Clifford does is gives the sheriff a box of money, pretty much saying, hey, get out of here, don't tell nobody, because you know what we doing in here, make you a little bit of money, or you can come in here and see what we got going on. The sheriff's like, nah, I can't do that. So pretty much the city, they got like a new mayor, and they want to limit the strip clubs, their ability to serve liquor and like, you know, saying full nude. But Uncle Clifford about that money, man. He ain't trying to hear that. So it just turned out that Club Pink was having a pretty much an amateur dance. Winner wins $50 and a buffet platter so they can eat. And Lakeisha Savage, we're gonna just keep calling her Lakeisha Savage because we haven't got to know her name. She enters, but the name that she goes by is Autumn Night. So all the girls are lining up. Uncle Clifford's coming by getting the names. They find out her name is Autumn Night, but she doesn't have any clothes. She just has on, you know, saying a blouse and like a skirt. So she goes over and she has to buy, you know, saying some a bra and you know, saying thong and stuff so she can go dance. So right now she's broke. She doesn't have any money. She only had $20 to get in. This is why she entered the contest because she only had $20. So she entered this to get the $50. So I'm guessing this is gonna steam her career. Like tonight's gonna be the night she starts and then she goes on. Just like Diamond from Players Club pretty much. But this is gonna be more intense, you know what I'm saying? Things don't look as good as we thought they were. So it turns out Mercedes, the biggest money maker in the strip club, she has a flyer talking about Mercedes' last dance. So she has every Sunday is called Mercedes Sundays. Like I said, she's the top stripper. When she dances, she makes all the money. If I had a couple of dollars, I'd be in that thing throwing it, but I ain't got it, so I can't go. But Uncle Clifford finds the flyer. He's like, wait a minute, you're quitting after 7 years? And she's pretty much like, yeah, I just stacked up enough bread. You know what I'm saying? My 401k is nice. So Uncle Clifford's like, in his head, he's like, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? She quitting and I'm going to go run this business. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what Mercedes has up her sleeve. The battle starts, and of course, the lovely Autumn Night wins. Now that's gonna be my new crush, my new TV crush, is Autumn Night. So she ends up winning, but while she's dancing, she's having flashbacks, and it looked like she was being abused by somebody. He was punching her, slapping her, and he pulled a gun on her. But she ends up winning. So once she wins, they go into the back room, and Uncle Clifford brings out, he gives her $50, told her don't spend it all in one spot. And once she sees the money that she made, $50 just for an amateur contest, it isn't with any lap dances or anything, just her on the stage. She asks when can she start, and this makes Mercedes jealous. She's like, oh, don't get hype off of that. You amateurs always come in here thinking, oh, you won this, you can just start stripping. But Uncle Clifford made a valid point, like, Mercedes, you about to quit, so if you're quitting, we need to bring in some new talent. So Mercedes is like, all right, yeah, I want to start. He's like, Uncle Clifford said, oh, you can start tomorrow. So hey, there we go. She's into the strip club business now. I'm hoping it's gonna work out for her. If not, you know what I'm saying, I got a spot over here, you know what I'm saying, I have to come take care of you Autumn Night. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, Autumn Night, Miss Savage, she doesn't have any money, so she's living in like a ran down motel. She has a suitcase over there in the corner and she's looking at it. But she also has a phone, but it has a cracked screen and she's looking at it and there's a little girl on there. So I don't know if it's her daughter or a family member, but it looks like she either left her wherever she was at, where she was getting abused, and she's here now, but she's got to figure it out. And she ended up spilling water on the phone, and it died. So we're gonna see what this kid has to do with her future story. You know what I'm saying? Her backstory. So we get to see a little bit of Mercedes' personal life. She's going to church on Sundays. Of course, this is before Mercedes Sundays. Church in the morning, Mercedes Sundays that night. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I'm saying, got a good schedule. But she's putting big money into collection plate. It looked like she dropped 100 in there, maybe in $200. But she's donating some of her stripper money back to the church. It turns out Uncle Clifford ain't good with his money. I thought she had the club and everything straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Dollar Bill, but Dollar Bill ain't have his money right either. So Uncle Clifford's at the check cashing place, and he's pretty much trying to pay for the club, but the club is behind on payments, and he can't give them a personal check because he's on the list. His picture's on the wall for giving a bad check. They told him only money orders. And so he's like, so just cash this check next week, it'll be good. But they're pretty much telling him no. So Uncle Clifford, she breaks out and she tells everybody in line, look, come to Club Pink, we'll cash your checks, and we won't take $35 out your check. Come on down. We got a little bit of tequila for all y'all. Just come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? Come holler at us. Basically, Uncle Clifford's trying to make some more money for the club. Uncle Clifford called an emergency meeting for all the strippers and the DJs and the bartenders. Pretty much tell them, hey, prices is going up. I need 15% off the VIP room. I need $4 off of every table dance. And all the girls are like, oh man, we ain't really making no money anyway. But he's like, hey man, we got to do this because they don't know that Uncle Clifford is pretty much in debt. He owing people. Well, I won't say he owing people. He's owing the bank for his club. But so all the girls are like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do it. We're gonna figure it out. Miss Mississippi comes in. Remember, she's the one that fell and hit her head. So she brings in one of her kids. The other kid is at her mom's house. She's pretty much telling Uncle Clifford that her boyfriend is beating her up or whatever. She has two kids by him. Uncle Clifford tells her like, hey man, I've been there before, but we gonna work this out. You know what I'm saying? Just bring your kid. We'll watch the kid while you dance and everything. So all the girls, they get ready to go get dressed. Uncle Clifford's gonna figure out how to make some money for the club. And he pretty much tells Mercedes, your job tonight is to take Autumn Night and show her the ropes and show her how to move and maneuver around the strip club. Mercedes didn't like it. You can already tell Mercedes doesn't want no one taking her spot, but she wants to leave. So Mercedes like, I don't want to babysit. Uncle Clifford tells her, hey, you better figure out something or you'll be sitting back here not making no money. So she does it. So we meet a random dude. His name is Lil Murder. So his boy is like putting money in a duffel bag, but up under he's putting like fluorescent bricks to make it seem like he has more money than what he has. inside the bag. So I don't know how this character is gonna play out, but they try to get in the club, and the security guard, Diamond's like, I don't know nobody that ain't VIP. Y'all gotta go to the back of the line. So whoever this little murder guy is, he has bread, and I guess he's a local rapper, but hey, the club don't know you. You ain't buying VIP. You ain't doing nothing. So Mississippi's in the back with her kid, and the security guard Diamond's back there. And he's pretty much talking to her like, "Hey man, whoever did this to you, let me know, and I'll handle that." And she pretty much tell him like, "Nah, you done already murked too many people. You done already killed too many people. You don't need another body on you." But he's like, "Hey, well the offer still stands." Uncle Clifford comes in there like, "Hey, Mercedes, I mean not Mercedes, Mississippi, you're up. Come and dance." So Diamond, I don't know how he does it, but I guess he's taking his security break and he's watching the kid for one dance. So I can see something going on between these two. So that might be another little story we're gonna go off into in a later episode. It turns out Lil Murder ends up getting a little VIP or whatever. It came in with 5,000. So Mercedes sees the other girls in there. She makes them leave, and she's talking to him like, "Okay, you got a little bit of bread. All right, how much you got?" He lies and tells her 5,000. So she like, "Nah, it's like four in there." So he looks and he sees Autumn Night on the stage. And he's like, "Hey, I want her." So she like, "All right, you say you got 4,000. You give me and her all the money." They call it coochie coupons. You know what I'm saying? I like that. For every dollar, it's called a coochie coupon. So she like, "You give me and her all the coochie coupons. We'll come and dance for you." So they come over there. He telling her she got 4 stacks. They come over. They dance and everything. One of the friends of Little Murder, you know what I'm saying? He's all drunk, so he's touching on Autumn, and they like, "Hey, no touching." Lil Murder's like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? If you want me to give you this bread, you gotta let me take you back into the other room." So he takes Mercedes back there, and he has her listening to his music, and she's like, "Nah, this stuff is trash." So he's like, "Dang, man." But while this is going on, the drunk friend is still trying to touch on Autumn, and a big commotion comes out, and like security comes in there and starts whooping on everybody. So you already know Autumn Night, this is her first night actually working, and she's uncomfortable in here. So it ain't looking good at all, man. It's a fight on the first night too. Lil Murder ends up running into Uncle Clifford. They go into a room so they can actually hear each other talk, and Lil Murder is telling Clifford that, you know what I'm saying, it's a little misunderstanding that happened to VIP. I just want to apologize for it. He ends up telling her which girl. It was Autumn Night, and Uncle Clifford's like, "Oh, okay." So when Murder notices that Clifford is the one that runs it, he's saying, you know what I'm saying, "This is what I needed to be talking to, you know what I'm saying, the manager. I got some music I want you to hear." And things good, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't expect this. So Little Murder starts flirting with Uncle Clifford, and Uncle Clifford's like, "Oh, you got me blushing in here," you know what I'm saying? So she's like, "Okay, you know what I'm saying, we can make something happen." So she listens to the music. She listened to the music, and since they were flirting, I don't know where things went from after that, but she was listening to the music. So there's a random man walking around taking pictures throughout the city, you know what I'm saying? He's just been taking pictures, but he's sitting outside the club, and after the commotion went down in the VIP, Autumn Night runs outside, and he ends up getting a picture of her. So she sees him, and they actually start talking. He introduces himself. His name is Andre, and he's saying what he does is take pictures of real estate. And she's asking, "Why are you taking pictures this late at night?" He's like, well, during the daytime, it's a ghost city out here. So I come when when the lights go out, when it's nighttime, I come out and I take pictures. This is when I get to see everything." So he pretty much talking and everything. And she asked him, "Hey, did you want to come in and see what the inside of the club looks like?" He's like, "Nah, man, I don't, I don't need any vices." She's like, "All right." So what she tells him is her real name is Haley. So it isn't Lakeisha Savage. We know Autumn Night is her dancing name, but she told Andre that her real name is Haley. I don't know if that's her real name, but they meet each other, so I know that these two are gonna have something going on. I'm thinking this guy Andre may be a cop or somebody trying to blackmail, because you wouldn't be taking pictures all throughout the night. What did I say? So when Uncle Clifford was listening to the music, she was flirting with Murder, and it turned out she played the music when Mercedes is supposed to dance. Mercedes is the last dance of the night because it's Mercedes Sunday. So everyone's going crazy. They're like, Mercedes is coming out. And on comes Lil Murder's song, and Lil Murder's song is trash. So she's looking at it like, Even the DJ was like, "Oh yeah, this is super trash." So he stopped it and played her song. So Mercedes is out there, I'm talking about going crazy. I'm like, dang, look at her out there. She dancing on the ceiling upside down, and she like breathing hard. So you think she about to pass out. She slides all the way down the pole and stops like just close before hitting her head on the ground and just getting it. You know what I'm saying? She looks up, and it turns out there's a lady in the crowd watching who was at the church. Turns out this is her mom. So she finishes her dancing, and when she goes outside with and starts talking to her mom, telling her, "Hey, you weren't complaining about all this money I was putting into collection plate when I was stripping, so don't try to do that now." And the mom is pretty much like, "You need to repent, you know what I'm saying, and pay your cash to the church." So she gives her mom a bag of money that she had just made, and she's like, "Oh, these people love you, Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? Why'd you have to be a hoe?" And Mercedes like, "I ain't never been no hoe." But pretty much the mom is using her for money. It's crazy, man. Like, you say that stripping is bad, but you out here begging for her money. So all the girls are getting paid out. Remember that 4,000 that murder was offered Mercedes? So Uncle Clifford splits it up 1,000 apiece, Mercedes, and then 1,000 to Autumn. And they're like, "Man, it was more money than this." And then Uncle Clifford's like, "Hey, you know people be lying." So once Autumn gets her money, she pays out, you know, saying her 15% for the VIP, and then the 147 for the dances. And Clifford pretty much says, "Yeah, you did better than Mercedes tonight." Mercedes is like, "Yeah, too bad I'm lazy." But after Autumn leaves, he gives Mercedes another stack of money because it was $4,000. Clifford trying to keep a little bit of money to, you know, make them payments. But as they all get outside, Autumn's sitting there. Mississippi's leaving, and she get in the car. We don't know who it is. We don't know if it's the abusive guy or not, but she says she has a ride. And the white girl is telling Mercedes, "We can give Autumn a ride." And Mercedes is like, "Nah, we got a two-seater. We ain't doing no more lap dance tonight." But while all this is going on, the guy's taking pictures. Andre is taking pictures across the street. Like I said, man, there's something weird about that guy. But that's episode one, my little recap of it. All right, and that's episode one of P Valley. I think the series is going to be pretty good. I need you to comment below. Do you think Mercedes and Autumn are going to clash a little bit more? The OG versus the rookie? Because I definitely think they are. But I want to hear what you have to say. I'm MoedotJ, and thank you for watching. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so every subscriber counts. Thank you. Like, comment, share the channel. And if you want me to do a reaction to anything, hit me up on Instagram. It's MoedotJ. Just DM me. I respond to everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.